Hey, welcome to SAB Chronicles, aka the COVID Chronicles. We're going to dive deep into the teachings of a few of our CEO Action Pod groups spanning from 2020 all the way to 2024. This series takes us through the fire of COVID to post COVID, and now who really gives a care about COVID? If you listen to this series, you're going to gain inside knowledge of strategies of the past and strategies of the future. Hold on to your seats as you're about to get a PhD in business. Buckle up and let's get rolling. Hey, are you looking to scale your business from five figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy. Want to congratulate Will. He's going to hit another $1 million month again. So
nice.
Huge congratulations on that. So really awesome stuff. You know, that's glide path, brother.
It's got its own struggles, but yeah.
Yeah, right. For sure. So anyway, so part 2, let's go into the second part of this meeting, and let's go through the challenges, and let's try to work through some of the challenges and advise through them. Myrna, since you are on, feel free to chime in if you have any guidance or advice.
Thanks.
As we move through this, okay? You don't have to just be a fly on the wall if you don't want to. That's up to you. So let's start with Artie today. How are you, Artie? Bueller.
Wow, talk about a double. I was double muted. Protection. That's called a contingency plan. Yeah, we'll do challenges, successes, challenges. Let me see. Major success. I know Myrna was talking about strengths and do what you're good at and things of this sort, right? The handbook is pretty much done.
Nice.
So for the rest of you guys, it's been a project for the company was probably supposed to be about 3 months, but because of my lack of participation, it went about 5 months, or just not my wheelhouse, so to speak, you know. So that's in place. It feels like an anchor has been kind of lifted, and the sales are out now. Challenges right now is just to focus. I mean, like, put everything else aside and just get sales. That's it. The primary business, of the install residential solar, the nuts and bolts, get the mechanical part of my business done is what I got to focus on right now to be able to fund some of these other things. We haven't really kicked anything off at David yet. That will happen. This week I actually had an opportunity to dig in again about some of that off-grid stuff we had chatted about, and I know the marketing guys said they would kind of chime in. I'm pretty, if I can turn around a couple of these products that I can order, just get my hands on them and see if it's going to be a nightmare to put some of this together and get it out the door, and find out later that we're going to have massive problems. I just want to get these things in my hands first, but I hate to say it too, man. It seems like I'm going to have to go like with a resource like Alibaba or something like that to get what I'll need to make a price point, and be able to get basically a white label. In certain quantities, they'll brand it for you or customize it, if you will. So, so that's where we're at right now. Yeah, like I say, no super major challenge right now. I just need to get rolling.
Yeah. So let me talk a little bit about, specifically about, what we rolled out a couple weeks ago.
Oh, the strategy. Okay.
Was it a couple weeks ago, or was it just a week ago? Hell,
yeah, I think we're at about 9 days, whatever.
Yeah. So here's where we came to this really, really cool idea and strategy, to marry up this whole, crunchy tree hugger, all the environmental stuff, so on and so forth. Politics aside, right?
Is that okay, excuse me, is that the name of it? Crunchy Tree Hugger?
Yeah. And I know you're a crunchy tree hugger, Joel.
I was letting Joel say it. I didn't want to say it. Joel was going to take it.
So what we did, and despite politics, take the politics out of all this. Money is still green no matter what. Doesn't matter what party line you run on. There's all this cash going to be influxed into, clean energy, all this stuff, right? So we took David's company and Artie's company, and we're creating the Eco Guys, right? So, and now at a developer level, not this B2C level stuff, okay? At a developer level, to move both water and solar into not one house, a 400 home build, okay? It's a beautiful strategy, and the amount of money flowing into this space this year is freaking huge, okay? So, taking that strategy forward, it's not like this isn't a let's put this in place in 3 days strategy. This is months to put this in place, right? But when it gets in place and it's starting to flow, it is literally basically for both of these companies going, how many do you need? Shipped. That's it. Right? So that's a pretty freaking cool place to be, and already individually as companies, that's kind of been the strategy that's put in place, other than David and the manufacturer piece. But that's a really, really cool thing. So this world this year is a great place to be in the solar energy, wind, solar, all this stuff. So, your company, Artie, is poised this year for sure. There's no reason in the next 4 years, at least. You can retire after that, but take advantage of the 4 years and knock it out of the park, right? Because the money flowing into this industry in the next 4 years is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just all about strategy to figure out how to capitalize on it.
Right.
You know what? This has just happened, and I didn't even write it down, but to go along with that, I know we had a quick chat about, HVAC and, heat pumps and all these more efficient ways to do heating and air conditioning. One of the guys out here in Central Mass, this will be more of a B2C play, but we did some solar on his house, and he's been a pretty good advocate for me so far. And he said, Artie, I'd like to have the ability to sell a job when I'm out selling one of my jobs. Sometimes they won't even buy what I sell, but they'll buy what you sell. And he said, how would you be comfortable with that? And I know him, as a business person, and I've met with him even before I did business with him. So, so I said, sure. But it got me to thinking that some of these guys that are really into the renewables and have that, that they're in that arena on the B2C. I'm going to, after I get this ironed out with this guy Bob, I'm going to document everything we do and model it out to some other people too, locally, close. So that, because that's a pretty good revenue source for me, and it solves another problem for marketing. So
Right.
yeah, because I know we talked about that too on the large scale, and maybe there's a play with that too. I'm not sure, but I think David and I just got to Ed got to put this together first, and get somebody to say yes.
Yeah, and I think there's a possible play with that, the whole eco type friendly play. I think there is an advertising play with that. And between companies' pooled resources, I mean, you've got all the resources in the world in this group to help with this project. So with that itself, once you guys get it on point, right, and then we get it into the street, into the right hands, right? So you've got the assets right in this group to make that happen. So
Yeah.
So just over the course of the next 30 days, getting that whole process in point, and how we're going to deliver, how we're going to do all those things, so on and so forth. Not a difficult thing, right? But we don't want to have a back end fulfillment problem either, right? So ever. It's never a hard thing to take people's money. That's the easy part, right? So it's the fulfillment piece, which I know you've had some issues with, contractors and so on and so forth throughout the last few months.
Yeah, well, I had another one injured this week.
Yeah. Well, you were on roofs all week, weren't you?
No, my wife. No.
I thought you were.
The company answer is no.
Well, that's the company answer.
Yeah. And if you talk to my wife, it's hell no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do,
Right.
So, but in turn, it looks like I've hired a new crew that'll solve that problem. So
Great.
Right, out of desperation. So
well, everybody hits that point sometimes, right? And that's the world you live in a little bit. Yeah. But Ed, do you have anything you want to add?
Artie's wife's a physical therapist, right?
Uh-huh.
That's why he can't admit to climbing ladders and running around on roofs.
Uh-huh.
With his knees. So. No, we had a great chat with Dave. Was it last week? Friday, I think. Was it last Friday? So I guess it's already a week ago. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Dave, you there?
I am, and one of my challenges is actually, I'm pretty sure I was on the way home on the road on the way home from Charleston when we spoke, wasn't I?
That's right. Yeah.
And I am currently on the road on the way home from Charleston.
Well, hey, one of these days, one of these trips from North Carolina to Charleston, you got to swerve this way.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. Sometimes my GPS takes me down 17 through Myrtle Beach, and sometimes it takes me swing out through Florence and just take the highway route, depending on probably the time of day.
Well, set Myrtle Beach for a waypoint, and we'll sit down and have lunch, and and develop this thing a little more.
Yeah, and that's definitely something. I mean, I was gonna mention as well. I literally haven't even looked at those Slack messages, but I knew February was going to be crazy, but March is going to be quite a bit lighter for me. So I'm definitely looking forward to that and being able to dive into the crunchy tree hugger endeavor that we know that in the months that it's going to take to put it together and roll it out, there's going to be some major spoils on the other end.
Sure.
Yeah. But at least we can get on the line and develop this thing a little more too. Because I got some ideas cooking.
Great. Yeah. And so it's well, since you're currently unmuted, David, let's put you on the line next.
Sure.
Shoot. I know you got shit going on right now.
I do. We had 3 new distributors launch in the month of February: Jacksonville, North Carolina; Fayetteville, North Carolina; and Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
So I've been jumping around from city to city, spending about a half a week in each city, jumping around all month to help them get to where they need to be. Which has, I mean, it's been good because, I mean, obviously, they get their reps in the field and it's going to support everybody's business and income. I guess that would probably even be one of the challenges that I see is, I mean, with this new model, it's great as it's going to grow and scale, but at the small spot that it is currently, I mean, I'm not really in control of my income. Which I never like to be in that position. So there's going to be a growth track that we're on here as far as adding new distributors and getting successful reps in the field for said distributors. But like I said, I know that March is going to be a little bit lighter as we still need to kind of roll out our distributor acquisition model. Things kind of got put on hold, doing some damage control within one of the parent companies with a problem customer that we're currently hopefully wrapped everything up here today. You got to love when you tell somebody something 16 times and they sign a contract stating that they understand it, and then they take off on social medias and the internet saying just the opposite. And so that's kind of put things on hold as far as the rollout of the distributor acquisition, but we've actually got a conversation set up with the digital media company that we work with next week. So between rolling that out and also being able to have the time to put some serious conversation together between Artie, Ed, and I will be a good time to do it for sure.
Yeah, your number one next step is 100% another you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once you have that, I mean, your company is on track to do some kick-ass numbers this year. So, and not like it wasn't kick-ass before. I'm just saying even better, right? So looking at that now is looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus. What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free. And we all do it. We're all like, nobody can do it better than me, right? So we kind of keep ourselves in the position a lot of times and overextend ourselves. And at some point, that's where you have to look at it and go, okay, where am I best in the asset as an asset to my own company, right? And what would it take? Who do I need? You know, how long is it going to take to spin somebody up? Actually, what Myrna talked about is like the perfect conversation for you for this call, right? So,
well, and there's really two jobs that I'm doing that I plan on offloading.
right,
One is the communications aspect, which I plan on offloading probably within the next, say 3-4 months. And then there is the on-site distributor training, which I plan on offloading probably 12 months, maybe 14, 12 to 14 months is kind of the track that I've put in place for that. And then at that point, I can truly step into a CEO role as far as overseeing everything that's going on.
right. And yeah, we knew that coming into it, as part of the strategy from really shifting from B2C to B2B and underneath the manufacturer like this. Obviously, it's not been done before, so it's all got to be documented and all that good stuff. So that requires you now in that process, unfortunately. But it does, because you're building the foundation for something nobody else is doing. So
right, and it's something that within the next probably 3 to 5 years is going to be something that's nationwide.
Right. Well, it's very duplicatable over to other manufacturers at some point.
Right.
And despite the exclusivity right now, right, with the current manufacturer, that won't be forever.
Exclusivity to water, sure.
Right, just to water. To where you could pivot this to lots of different industries now. So
I have an idea that I want to put in your minds while you guys are at the design stage, if you don't mind my jumping in.
Sure.
And if the market is going to be booming, as you say, and there's a lot of money on the table, then you'll have competitors come to you rapidly. So along with your design, can you design barriers to entry? Can you design how to make it harder for a competitor to copy you in the design from the get-go? So think about, how do you create barriers to entry for your competitors? Make them have to run faster and harder than you did to try to beat you.
That's a good point.
I think that that's actually built in to the Eco Guys piece, because how many joint ventures could a developer imagine coming to them that can offer water filtration as well as solar?
Yep, that's true.
You get a 2-for-1 deal.
I did the same thing with plumbing and electrical, combined 2 companies, and now you got a plumber and electrician in the same truck. So, and they own the market. Was a pretty thrifty little thing, because the electrician shows up to fix the receptacle, and the plumber goes, "Let's do a 26-point inspection on your plumbing while we're here
for free."
For free.
Yeah.
And then guess what? There's $1,500 worth of plumbing issues. Would you like us to take care of those today, or your toilet's going to fall through the floor? Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, done. So just combining those 2 companies the way it did was amazing.
That's the same company that carries a water heater in every van?
Yep. It is.
Well, when it comes down to the barrier of entry, I mean, I don't know for David, but for us, there's a lot of talented electricians that could pull off putting in a PV, electric solar system. The thing where they fall down on is the admin is enough to It chokes them. So they're not used to doing paperwork for a month before they have to even, make any money on it, and then do the job and then have a bunch of paperwork on the back end. So I think that's the biggest challenge for people getting in the industry, is trying to navigate all the BS, if you will. So, but other than that, I'm gonna write that down too and see. I don't know what other barriers to entry there would be. Because it's.
Well, I think she's also talking to that we could possibly create within our model that differentiates us from somebody else. So somebody else can duplicate, at a very low level, but we've added in this, that, and the other thing that creates a much higher hurdle to jump over for anybody else pitching a similar thing to the same person. Would I be correct with that?
Right. The other thing you can do is stack up certifications, even if the certifications are bullshit. If you think about two people come into the same boardroom and one person says, well, is that other company certified by the Who's It's? Oh, no, they're not. So your company is better. And it could be complete bullshit, but the buyer doesn't know that.
Have they written a book on it?
Have they written a book on it? Yeah. Are they a gold star company? I mean, there's all kinds of certifications. There's a lot of ways to stack advantages that a customer would perceive that in the marketplace, it's not perceived.
The J.D. Powers Award for scratching yourself.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how is Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and all of them the number one?
Right.
But they always are, right? So,
I bet we could get a Guinness World Record for something.
there you go.
I already have 3.
Is one of them for bullshit?
Knee surgeries don't count.
But no, I mean, you look at so when I look at that particular thing, right, when you say barrier to entry, right, some of that is relationship based, right? Because you don't just get to go and have a conversation with a developer, right? I mean, that takes work. That takes time. That takes relationship building. It's one thing to go talk to a builder. Like, I mean, I can walk downtown today, right? And walk into several different builders' offices today and talk to the CEO. It's the first freaking office. You can walk right in. So, it's about being able to, as a joint venture partnership, right? There's a lot of power in that. Huge. Versus just, Joe Schmuck off the street that is the one guy putting this whole thing together. Now you have a multi-company venture happening at one time that benefits at the highest level, right? So it's looking at that strategy rollout. Yeah, guess what? It's not a week play. It's not something you're going to put together in a week. It might be 3 months. It might be a quarter to take that to its pushing the first button time, right? But the result kicks the living shit out of B2C, right? 100%. Because even at the maximum amount of installs of anything you could do in a quarter, just say you can do one a day, that's 90 in a quarter. You could literally be putting it on for a 400 home development, pre-sold into that collected money. And all you do is hit send. So it's just getting the strategy to its fruition. And the first, we already know it's going to create just massive amounts of revenue, No, there's no doubt about it. Now it's just doing all the back channel work to make that happen. And that is literally the barrier to entry right there. Because that's what separates the ones that want it bad enough or the ones that just go, that's too fucking hard for me. I can't do it. Right. And there's nobody on this call that would ever do that. Because I wouldn't be where I am today if I would have went, oh shit, that's too hard. Definitely not. Right. None of us would be where we are typically in life if we were the type that went, that was too hard. No, you grab the freaking crowbar in one hand and you grab the freaking axe in the other, and you forge forward, whatever it takes. As my son likes to say, someday I'm going to grow up and be just like John Henry, hammering through the mountain, right? To get to the promised land. He loves that video cartoon, but it's so true, right? That's what we do as business owners, is we forge forward and we break through the barriers, because you either do that or you're dead. Do it or you're dead. That's just the truth. You can either be the 98% of failure or the 2% of success. That's a pretty shitty statistic to throw out here, but it's just the truth. Nobody here's a startup, so it doesn't really matter. That's a startup thing, but still, every company in this Wolfpack group did what? Made it through one of the most shittiest times we've had since 2008. So hooray, right? That means you had the crowbar and the axe and you made it happen. So in this case is a great example of how do I think bigger and forge forward stronger. And anytime you joint venture together, it's a powerful tool. One of the most powerful tools. Okay. Anyway, thanks for that that little bit of thought, provoking thought, Myrna. For sure. Okay, so anything else from the eco guys? You guys are just going to be the eco guys now. David, you got anything else? I know you're driving.
No, I don't believe so, sir.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win. Thank you for tuning in to the SAB Chronicles, otherwise known as the COVID Chronicles. Hey, we hope you took a lot of great little golden nuggets from this episode. Follow us on social media. Follow us everywhere you can follow us for updates on all of our different series of podcasts, to include this one right here. We hope to see you back as soon as possible. And remember, always, you should always want to grow, scale, and win. We'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God, it's beautiful.